Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're looking at a solution for a problem that pretty much every researcher, from grad students to even seasoned academics, has had to deal with. Just trying to navigate the super confusing world of scientific research. We're going to explore a really unique guide that's designed to make that whole journey a lot smoother. So let's just start with a question that probably hits pretty close to home for anyone who's ever had to write a thesis or a research paper. I mean, the research process can feel like you're stuck in this complicated maze, right? Full of dead ends and really confusing turns.
You know the feeling. You're trying to choose the right topic, structure your arguments, cite your sources correctly, and maybe you're just trying to figure out what your supervisor actually wants. The questions can feel endless, and it is so easy to get completely overwhelmed.
But what if there was a guide that didn't just throw chapters of dense information at you, but instead, it directly answered those very specific questions you have? Well, that is the whole promise of the book we're diving into today. 1,000 questions and answers in scientific research.
Yeah, forget your typical textbook. You should think of this more like a mentor you can carry around, A roadmap that's built around the real, everyday problems and questions that researchers are actually struggling with. So, who are the experts that put together this incredible resource? Let's take a look.
Okay, so the guide is written by a team of 3 really seasoned academics. And the key thing here is that these aren't just theorists. These are experienced researchers and supervisors who have been in the trenches. They've guided tons of students through the exact challenges this book is designed to solve.
Now, let's get into what makes this book so different. It's not just the answers it gives you, but its whole philosophy, which is all about the power of the question itself. The introduction, which was written by Professor Syed Ismail Ali, just puts it beautifully. He basically argues that asking a question isn't a sign of weakness at all. It's the very engine of scientific progress. It's the first, and honestly, the most important step in building new knowledge. And it makes perfect sense when you think about it, right? From the moment we can talk, we learn by asking why and how. This book just takes that fundamental human drive for learning and applies it directly to the super structured world of academic research. And this slide just perfectly illustrates that key difference. With the traditional guides, you have to sift through all these chapters to find what you need. This book completely flips that on its head. You start with your specific question and boom, it gives you a direct answer. It turns the whole learning process into a way more efficient dialogue. So, how does this Q&A approach actually translate into a practical roadmap for researchers? Let's take a look at the sheer scope of what this guide covers, from start to finish.
The scope is, well, it's incredibly thorough. We're talking about the entire research journey here, from that very first spark of an idea all the way through the complexities of data analysis, right up to defending your final thesis. It's all in there. For instance, have you ever been stuck just wondering, how do I actually write a strong, testable hypothesis? It's such a common stumbling block. And the crucial point here is that you're not left to just guess. The book addresses that exact question head on, giving you clear, actionable steps to help you build a really solid hypothesis. It just removes all that ambiguity that so often stalls your progress.
Or how about this one? So many researchers, especially if you're writing in a second language, worry about the common pitfalls and mistakes in academic writing.
And again, the guide totally anticipates this common concern and addresses it directly. So instead of letting you learn from your own mistakes, it gives you the insights you need to avoid them in the first place. It turns a potential pitfall into a real learning opportunity. And just to give you a more concrete idea of the practical detail inside, just take a look at this sample from the index of figures. See? The book doesn't just tell you what to do, it actually shows you with visual guides on really crucial topics like research ethics, how to design a good questionnaire, and different sampling methods. So this really brings us to the big takeaway. Who is this book really for, and why is it so essential? Well, it's pretty much an indispensable partner for anyone in postgraduate studies, for researchers who are just starting out in their careers, and honestly, even for academic supervisors who need a reliable reference to help guide their students. By systematically replacing all that uncertainty with clear, expert answers, this guide helps transform what can often be a really stressful and isolating process into what it's truly meant to be, an exciting journey of discovery. So, we'll end with a thought that goes right back to the book's core philosophy. This guide can give you 1,000 answers, no doubt, but the real journey of discovery, that always begins with your own curiosity. The most important question isn't in the book. It's the one that you decide to ask next.